Join me as I dive into the daily life of a kid with OCD and see if I can go a whole day without letting my compulsions take over. When I did the video OCD parenting hacks you wouldn't find anywhere else, most people let me know that they do not understand OCD and they wanted to know more. I want to talk about something that affects a lot of kids but often gets swept under the rug. Obsessive-compulsive disorder, or OCD for short, is a mental health condition that can impact daily life in some really significant ways. And I want to help shine a light on what it's like to live with OCD as a kid. So, what are some common symptoms of OCD in kids? Well, one major one is intrusive thoughts. These are thoughts that pop up in their mind over and over and can be really distressing. For some kids, these thoughts might be about germs or safety or making mistake. They may be super anxiety provoking and can feel impossible to shake. Symptoms is compulsive behavior. These are actions that kids feel like they need to take to calm their anxiety. This might be things like excessive hand washing, counting, repeating specific phrases. This behavior can be super time consuming and can even get in the way of friendship, schoolwork, and just enjoying life in general. These symptoms can have a huge impact on a kid's daily life. Imagine if every time you wanted to hang out with friends, you had to do a specific ritual first, like tapping your feet in a certain pattern or saying a specific phrase in your head. It can be really hard to explain to friends why you're doing these things, and it can make it tough to make connections with others. Or imagine if you were constantly worried about making mistakes on a test and felt like you had to repeat certain behaviors, like tapping your pencil on the desk in a specific rhythm to feel okay. It can be super distracting and can make it hard to focus on schoolwork. Yes, really. Some kids with OCD might also develop rituals around specific activities like eating or sleeping. They might feel like they need to do things in a certain order or at specific times in order to feel calm. And of course, these symptoms can also affect self-esteem. Kids might feel like they are crazy or weak or flawed because they are experiencing these thoughts and feelings. It's a lot to deal with, and it can be super isolating. I want to share some stories from kids who have OCDs because I thought it's so important to hear from people who have lived this experience. One kid I talked to said that her OCD started when she was around 8 years old. She would have these really vivid, disturbing thoughts about bad things happening to her family, and she might felt like she needed to do certain rituals to keep them safe. She would repeat specific phrases to herself or do specific actions like tapping her feet in a certain pattern. It was exhausting and it made her feel like she was losing control. Another kid talked to said that his OCD made him feel like he was trapped in his own mind. He would have these intrusive thoughts about germs, and he felt like he needed to wash his hands constantly to feel clean. He would avoid touching things or sitting in certain chairs because he was afraid of getting sick. It was really hard for him to explain to his friends why he was acting that way, and it made him feel super isolated. One kid I talked to said that she felt like her OCD was like this constant companion, always there in the background, waiting to pounce. She would have these really distressing thoughts and then feel like she needed to do certain actions to calm herself down. It was like this never-ending cycle, and it was really hard to break free. But here's the thing: kids with OCD are not alone, and they are not defined by their OCD. They are strong, resilient, and capable, and they deserve to be heard and understood. One pivotal moment for a lot of kids with OCD is when they realize they need help. This might be when they start to feel like their OCD is taking over, or when they realize that they can't shake these thoughts and feelings on their own. It might be when they finally talk to a trusted adult like a parent, teacher, or therapist about what they're going through. This can be a really scary but also really liberating moment. Yep. For some kids, this might be the start of a therapy or medication or other treatment that can help them manage their OCD. It might be the start of learning coping strategies like deep breathing or visualization that can help them calm their anxiety. It might be the start of building a support system like friends or families who can offer encouragement and understanding. In my experience, this is often a turning point for kids with OCD. It's like they are finally able to take a deep breath and say, I'm not alone. I can get help. It's a really powerful feeling, and it can be the start of a whole new chapter in their lives. So that's what it's like to be a kid with OCD. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. Either with support, understanding, and the right tools, kids with OCD can thrive and live full, happy lives. Thanks so much for watching, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in more current content like this, be sure to subscribe and check out my other video on OCD, parenting hacks you won't find elsewhere.